Imagine for a moment that every word you speak is a seed planted in the soil of your life. Each seed holds the potential to grow into a tree that either bears fruit or produces poison. The incredible truth is that your mouth is one of the most powerful tools you possess, because what you say not only reveals who you are, it also shapes who you will become. The words you release daily create your reality, molding your future in ways you might never have realized. But many people, without even knowing it, give their power away with careless speech, and in doing so, they plant seeds of doubt, defeat, and destruction. If you are willing to learn how to control your mouth, you can change the entire course of your life. The power of your words shapes your reality. Words carry weight far beyond their sound. They are the invisible architects of our future, the invisible chains that bind us, or the invisible wings that set us free. From the moment we wake up and speak our first thought aloud, we begin to create. When you say, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "this will never work," you are building walls around your destiny. You are sowing seeds that will eventually grow into towering obstacles standing between you and your dreams. On the other hand, when you say, "I am strong, I am capable, and I will overcome," you are watering your dreams with hope and faith, causing them to take root and flourish. Many people underestimate the power of their tongue. They don't realize that their words have a supernatural ability to shape not just their feelings, but their circumstances. The words you speak directly affect your mindset, your relationships, and your opportunities. When you declare defeat, your spirit surrenders, your confidence shrinks, and your heart grows heavy with fear. You begin to act like the very words you've spoken, and soon, your life becomes a reflection of your speech. This is why controlling your mouth is not just about etiquette or politeness. It's a matter of survival and victory. You see, words have creative power. Think about the last time you spoke positive words into your life. Maybe you said, "I will get through this," or "better days are coming." Those words gave you strength to face challenges and ignited hope when things seemed hopeless. Now recall a moment when negative words escaped your lips. Perhaps a complaint, a curse, or a self-defeating statement. And notice how those words dragged your spirit down, drained your energy, and made obstacles appear larger than they really were. Words don't just express what is already in your heart, they shape what will be in your future. There is a practical side to this power as well. When you consistently speak words of faith, encouragement, and positivity, you rewire your brain. You condition your mind to look for solutions instead of problems, to find strength instead of weakness. Your words become the soundtrack of your life, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. For example, someone who regularly declares, "I am confident and capable," will begin to walk taller, speak with more conviction, and take risks that lead to growth. Conversely, someone who constantly murmurs, "I am not good enough," will shrink back from opportunities, suffer from self-doubt, and live beneath their potential. Controlling your mouth means becoming aware of the power you wield every time you speak. It means choosing your words with intention, knowing that they have consequences beyond the moment. It requires discipline because the tongue is a wild force that, if left unchecked, can hurt relationships, destroy dreams, and undermine your spirit. But when harnessed, it can open doors, heal wounds, and inspire greatness. You are the gatekeeper of your mouth, and with that role comes tremendous responsibility. You must learn to silence the negative voices, not only those inside your head, but those that spill out of your lips. Speak carefully, for your words can either imprison you in a cycle of failure or set you free to walk boldly into your destiny. It's not about perfection. No one is expected to be flawless in speech, but it is about progress and intention. Each day you have the opportunity to break free from harmful patterns of speech and replace them with words that affirm life, hope, and victory. Begin to declare the truth of your value, your strength, and your purpose. Speak words that honor yourself and the plan God has for you. When you do this, you align yourself with a force greater than circumstance, and you take control of your future one word at a time. The journey to mastering your mouth starts with awareness and commitment. Watch your words closely. Ask yourself, is what I am about to say building me up or tearing me down? Is it planting seeds of faith or seeds of fear? Then choose the words that empower, encourage, and uplift. In time, you will see your life transformed because the power of your words has reshaped your reality. Your mood is more than just a passing feeling or a momentary reaction. It is the invisible force that colors every choice you make and every step you take. Too often, people allow their moods to dictate their actions without realizing the depth of influence this emotional state holds. When you master your mood, you master the quality of your life, because your mood controls your perspective, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. Think of your mood as the lens through which you see the world. If that lens is cracked or clouded by negativity, everything you look at will appear distorted, discouraging, and impossible. But when you take control and clear that lens, suddenly the path ahead looks brighter, clearer, and filled with hope. Many people fall victim to the tyranny of their emotions. They believe that if they feel overwhelmed, angry, or depressed, they have no choice but to act in ways that reflect those moods. This is not true. Your emotions are real and valid, but they do not have to become your master. You have the ability to acknowledge your feelings without letting them control you. This is the essence of emotional intelligence. Recognizing your mood, understanding its origin, and deciding how you will respond. When you refuse to be a slave to your mood, you take the first step toward reclaiming your power. It's important to realize that moods are contagious, not only within ourselves but among those around us. When you wake up angry or bitter, that mood spills over into your interactions with family, friends, and colleagues. It influences how you react to challenges and whether you look for solutions or excuses. When your mood is negative, your brain is wired to focus on problems, magnify setbacks, and overlook blessings. Conversely, when your mood is positive and stable, you become a magnet for opportunities, resilience, and peace. You start to see obstacles as challenges to overcome rather than insurmountable walls. This shift in perspective changes your entire experience of life. Controlling your mood does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it is not. It means developing the strength to steer your emotions rather than letting them steer you. For example, if frustration rises within you, you have the power to pause, take a deep breath, and choose a calmer response. You can decide to respond with patience rather than anger, with understanding rather than bitterness. This discipline is like training a muscle. It grows stronger each time you choose emotional control over impulsive reaction. It's also vital to recognize the triggers that influence your mood. Certain people, environments, or thoughts can provoke feelings that drag you down. Awareness of these triggers allows you to prepare, protect, or distance yourself when necessary. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control how you let it affect you internally. Imagine carrying a beautiful lamp inside you. Your mood is the flame. You have the choice to protect that flame from storms or allow it to flicker and die out because of outside circumstances. When you guard your mood carefully, you protect your inner light and keep it burning bright, no matter what life throws at you. Your mood also influences your energy and motivation. When you feel joyful, hopeful, and calm, you are more likely to take positive action, pursue goals, and persevere through difficulties. When you are overwhelmed by negative moods, even simple tasks seem exhausting, and the thought of moving forward becomes daunting. This is why mood control is not a luxury. It is a necessity for achieving the life you desire. You cannot build a future if your emotional foundation is shaky and unstable. You must create an environment inside your mind and heart where positive, constructive moods can thrive and become your default setting. Moreover, controlling your mood impacts your health and relationships. Chronic negative moods such as stress, anxiety, or resentment weaken your immune system, increase the risk of disease, and drain your mental and physical energy. On the other hand, cultivating peace, gratitude, and hope strengthens your body, sharpens your mind, and improves your overall well-being. Emotionally balanced individuals attract healthier relationships because calm and positive energy draws people in. When you master your mood, you not only improve your own life, but you also become a source of strength and encouragement to others. You have likely experienced moments when your mood shifted and everything changed. Perhaps a simple word of encouragement lifted your spirits when you felt defeated, or a moment of prayer or meditation brought peace in the midst of chaos. These moments are evidence of your power to influence your emotional state. You don't have to wait for external circumstances to improve before you can feel better. You can decide right now to take control of your mood and refuse to let discouragement or anger steal your joy and progress. Every day you face a choice to surrender to the ups and downs of your emotions or to rise above them and become the master of your internal world. This choice is not always easy, but it is always necessary. When you begin to understand that your mood is not a random or uncontrollable force, but a powerful driver of your actions and outcomes, you realize how important it is to guard it fiercely. The ability to control your mood is a skill that will determine the quality of your decisions, the strength of your relationships, and the fulfillment of your dreams. Money is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. For many, it becomes an idol, a source of stress, or a symbol of success that defines their worth. But the truth is far more liberating. Money is simply a tool, neither good nor evil on its own. It is the choices you make with money, the control you exercise over it, and the mindset you adopt that determine whether it becomes your servant or your master. When you learn to control your money, you reclaim your freedom. You stop chasing after endless desires and start using your resources wisely to build a life of purpose, peace, and progress. Far too many people live under the heavy burden of financial worry because they have allowed money to control their decisions and emotions. They live paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, or trapped by the illusion that more money will solve all their problems. But more money without discipline simply magnifies the chaos. Without control, money slips through your fingers like sand, leaving frustration and despair in its wake. The key is not how much money you have, but how you manage what you have been given. True wealth is not measured by your bank balance, but by your ability to steward your finances with wisdom and self-control. The foundation of financial control begins with understanding your value beyond money. You are not defined by your possessions or your account statements. Your worth is rooted in your character, your integrity, and your purpose. When you grasp this truth, you stop living to acquire and start living to give, to grow, and to impact the world around you. Money becomes a resource to support your goals, not the goal itself. This shift in mindset is the turning point for anyone who desires financial peace and purpose. It is essential to develop discipline in how you handle money. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your reality. Without it, your financial dreams remain distant fantasies. Discipline means living within your means, budgeting thoughtfully, saving consistently, and resisting the temptation to spend impulsively. It means making sacrifices today for a better tomorrow. It may not always feel comfortable, but it is a small price to pay for freedom from stress and anxiety. Each wise decision, no matter how small, compounds over time and builds a stable foundation for your future. Control over money also requires planning and intentionality. You cannot leave your finances to chance or hope that things will magically improve. You must be proactive, setting clear goals, tracking your income and expenses, and adjusting your habits when necessary. When you take charge of your financial situation, you stop feeling helpless and start feeling empowered. You begin to see money as a tool that can open doors rather than a weight that drags you down. This empowerment is transformative because it shifts you from victim to victor in your financial story. Another important aspect of controlling your money is generosity. It may seem counterintuitive, but giving generously, even when resources are limited, releases you from the bondage of scarcity and fear. Generosity shifts your focus from what you lack to what you can share, creating a cycle of blessing and abundance. When you give with a willing heart, you invite grace and favor into your life, and you remind yourself that money is not the source of your security. Your faith and values are. Your relationship with money also affects your mindset and emotional well-being. Financial struggles can breed anxiety, fear, and hopelessness, while financial control brings peace, confidence, and hope. When you stop allowing money to rule your thoughts, you free yourself from the constant worry that keeps your mind restless and your spirit weary. Instead, you replace that anxiety with a calm assurance that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way because you have mastered your finances, no matter how much you have. It's also important to recognize that money can be a test of your character. The way you handle money reveals your priorities and integrity. Do you use it to build a life of meaning or merely to satisfy temporary desires? Do you allow greed and fear to govern your actions, or do you cultivate contentment and generosity? These questions demand honest reflection because they influence not just your bank account, but your soul. Finally, controlling your money is an act of faith and responsibility. It is trusting that God or the universe will provide what you need while also committing to wise stewardship of the resources entrusted to you. It means rejecting the lies that money controls you and embracing the truth that you have authority over your finances through wise choices and discipline. When you see money as a tool, you step into a place of power where you can create stability, support your dreams, and bless others, all without being enslaved by fear or greed. Your mind is the most powerful battlefield you will ever face. It is the place where every victory and every defeat begins. No matter what challenges stand before you, no matter what storms rage around you, the outcome of your life depends largely on what happens inside your mind. Your thoughts shape your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. This is why controlling your mind is not just important, it is essential. If you fail to master your thoughts, you will find yourself at the mercy of doubt, fear, and defeat. But if you choose to take authority over your mind, you step into a realm of limitless potential where success, peace, and joy become your natural state. The battle for your mind is constant. Every day you are bombarded with ideas, opinions, fears, and temptations that seek to influence your thinking. Negative voices, whether they come from outside sources or from within your own doubts, attempt to sabotage your confidence and steal your peace. These voices whisper lies about your worth, your abilities, and your future. They tell you that you are not enough, that you will never succeed, or that circumstances are hopeless. But these lies are just that, lies. Your mind is not a passive space where these voices have free rein. It is a sacred ground where you must stand firm and fight for the truth. The first step in winning this battle is to become aware of what you are thinking. So often, our thoughts run unchecked like a wild river, flooding our minds with fear, worry, and negativity. But when you begin to observe your thoughts without judgment, you gain the power to change them. Awareness creates space for choice. You can decide which thoughts to entertain and which to reject. When a thought tells you, "I can't do this," you can respond, "That's not true. I am capable and strong." When fear threatens to paralyze you, you can remind yourself, "Fear is a liar. I will step forward in faith." This simple act of challenging negative thoughts is the foundation of mental mastery. Another critical aspect of controlling your mind is feeding it with truth. What you put into your mind matters deeply. If you fill it with discouragement, criticism, and falsehoods, your mindset will become dark and heavy. But if you choose to immerse your mind in truth, hope, and encouragement, you build resilience and strength. This is why it is vital to surround yourself with positive influences, whether that be uplifting books, inspiring conversations, or affirmations of your worth and purpose. Your mind is like a garden, and the seeds you plant will determine what grows. Nourish it with life-giving truths and watch your confidence and peace flourish. Controlling your mind also means guarding your thoughts fiercely. Not every idea deserves a place in your mind. Many thoughts come disguised as warnings or concerns, but are really fear or insecurity in disguise. You must learn to sift through your thoughts and discard those that do not serve your highest good. This requires discipline and practice. It may mean saying no to dwelling on past mistakes, refusing to entertain what-if scenarios that lead to anxiety, and redirecting your focus to what you can control. As you develop this habit, your mind becomes a fortress of strength rather than a battleground of confusion. The power of a controlled mind extends into every area of your life. Your relationships, your work, your health, all are influenced by the quality of your thoughts. When your mind is ruled by worry and doubt, you hesitate to pursue your dreams, you lash out at those you love, and you become trapped in cycles of stress and exhaustion. But when your mind is calm, focused, and grounded in truth, you make decisions with clarity, you communicate with kindness, and you approach life's challenges with courage. Your mind becomes your greatest ally rather than your worst enemy. You must also understand that controlling your mind is an act of faith. It requires believing that you are not a helpless victim of your circumstances, but a powerful creator of your destiny. It means trusting that you have the ability to change your thoughts, to renew your mind, and to align your thinking with your highest purpose. This transformation does not happen overnight, but it begins the moment you choose to fight for your mind each day. In this battle, perseverance is key. There will be days when your thoughts feel overwhelming, when doubt creeps in, and when negativity threatens to take over. But every time you resist those thoughts and choose truth instead, you strengthen your mind and build resilience. Over time, this steady commitment rewires your brain, creating new pathways of hope, confidence, and joy. Your mind becomes a wellspring of strength, a place where victory is cultivated and success is born. Self-control is often misunderstood as a restriction or burden, but in truth, it is the very foundation of freedom. Freedom is not the absence of discipline, it is the presence of mastery over oneself. Without self-control, we become slaves to impulses, emotions, and circumstances, tossed about by every passing desire and fear. But when we cultivate self-control, we reclaim the authority over our lives that was meant for us from the beginning. It is through self-control that you break free from the chains of addiction, the grip of bad habits, and the cycle of regret that traps so many people. This power to govern your thoughts, emotions, and actions is the key that unlocks the door to a life of true liberty and purpose. Every decision you make throughout your day is either an exercise of self-control or a surrender to it. Whether it's controlling what you say, how you react to others, managing your finances, or directing your focus, self-control influences the trajectory of your life. When you fail to exercise it, you hand over your destiny to external forces and momentary pleasures. You become a puppet to your circumstances rather than the master of your fate. But when you choose self-control, you take the reins and steer your life toward the goals and dreams you desire. You become an active participant in your future instead of a passive observer. The struggle for self-control is not easy because it often means resisting what feels good in the moment for the sake of what is good in the long run. It requires saying no to instant gratification, harmful temptations, and negative emotions. It requires the strength to pause, reflect, and choose a higher path. This kind of discipline is difficult precisely because it demands that you look beyond the immediate and invest in the future. Yet those who persevere in self-control discover a strength and peace that far outweigh any fleeting pleasure or comfort they might have sacrificed. One of the most significant areas where self-control impacts freedom is in your speech. The mouth can be a powerful weapon or a healing balm, and controlling it means stopping the release of careless, harmful words that damage relationships and opportunities. It means choosing silence when anger rises and speaking encouragement when frustration threatens. This restraint opens doors, mends broken trust, and builds respect. It is an outward sign of an inward strength that refuses to be ruled by impulse. Self-control over your emotions is equally crucial. When your feelings dictate your responses, you live in chaos and confusion. But when you exercise control over your mood, choosing patience over anger, peace over anxiety, you create stability and calm in your life. This control brings clarity, enabling you to think clearly, make wise decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. Emotional self-control is not suppression but mastery, a deliberate act of steering your internal world instead of being driven by it. Financial self-control frees you from the cycle of debt and worry. When you manage your money wisely, spending less than you earn, saving for the future, and resisting impulsive purchases, you create a foundation for stability and peace. Money no longer becomes a source of stress but a tool that works for you. This kind of control leads to empowerment and confidence, enabling you to provide for yourself and others without fear or anxiety. Perhaps most importantly, self-control begins in the mind. Controlling your thoughts means refusing to entertain negativity, doubt, and fear. It means choosing to focus on truth, hope, and faith. When your mind is disciplined, you build resilience against the storms of life. You develop a mindset that refuses to give up, that perseveres in the face of adversity, and that holds fast to your purpose even when the road is hard. Mental self-control is the anchor that keeps you grounded and the compass that directs your path. Self-control is not a one-time achievement, but a daily practice. Each moment presents a choice to act in alignment with your highest values or to give in to easier, less productive impulses. The more you practice, the stronger your self-control becomes, and the more natural it feels to live in freedom. This freedom is not just about external circumstances, but about internal peace, the peace that comes from knowing you have the power to direct your life according to your deepest convictions and highest goals. It is also important to understand that self-control is not about perfection but progress. You will stumble and fall, but each time you get back up and choose self-control again, you grow stronger. The journey toward mastery over yourself is marked by moments of victory and struggle, and it is in this struggle that your character is formed and your freedom is forged. When you begin to see self-control as the gateway to freedom, your perspective on discipline changes. It is no longer a chain that binds you, but a key that unlocks doors to new opportunities, relationships, and achievements. It is the quiet power that makes you unshakable in the face of adversity, patient in the midst of trials, and faithful when the future is uncertain. It is easy to underestimate the power of small daily habits. We look at the big goals we want to achieve, the dreams we long to fulfill, and the changes we wish to see in our lives, and we imagine that only massive, dramatic actions will make a difference. But the truth is far more profound and much more encouraging. Monumental change is built on the foundation of consistent, small choices made every single day. Each habit you cultivate may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, these small decisions compound and multiply, creating a force so powerful that it transforms your entire life. This is the secret to lasting success, peace, and growth. An unshakable truth that the path to greatness is paved with simple steps taken faithfully. Many people become discouraged because they expect immediate results. They want to change their circumstances overnight, or they desire quick fixes that promise instant transformation. When these expectations are not met, frustration sets in and they give up before they even get started. But real change rarely happens in a flash. It happens in the quiet moments, in the choices you make when no one is watching. It happens in the small acts of discipline and courage that build momentum and character. When you begin to understand this, you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start taking intentional steps right where you are. Every successful person has a story that points back to the power of daily habits. It may be the habit of reading a few pages every day, the commitment to exercise regularly, the discipline to save a small amount of money consistently, or the practice of starting each morning with a positive affirmation or prayer. These habits don't seem earth-shattering on their own, but their cumulative effect creates unstoppable momentum. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The mountain moves not because of one giant leap, but because of 1,000 steady steps. The power of daily habits lies in their ability to shape your identity. When you repeat an action consistently, you begin to see yourself differently. You start to believe that you are someone who follows through, who values growth, who prioritizes health, or who handles money wisely. This shift in self-perception is crucial because it changes how you approach life. Instead of fighting your weaknesses, you begin to embrace your strengths. Your habits become a reflection of the person you are becoming, and this fuels your motivation to keep going. It is important to recognize that habits are not about perfection. They are about persistence. You will have days when you stumble, when you miss your goal, or when you feel like giving up. But the strength of a habit lies in your ability to get back on track, to recommit, and to keep moving forward despite setbacks. Each time you do this, you build resilience and deepen your commitment to your own growth. These moments of perseverance shape your character far more than any single victory ever could. Small daily habits also have the power to transform your mindset. When you intentionally choose to feed your mind with positive thoughts, uplifting words, and empowering beliefs every day, you create a mental environment where hope and confidence can thrive. Conversely, neglecting your mind or allowing negative habits like complaining, doubting, or worrying to dominate creates a toxic inner landscape that hinders your progress. Habits shape not only what you do, but what you think and believe about yourself and your potential. In the area of relationships, small habits of kindness, patience, and listening can rebuild broken trust and deepen connections. It may seem like a simple smile, a word of encouragement, or a moment of genuine attention does not matter much in the grand scheme of things. But over time, these small acts accumulate into strong, lasting bonds that provide support, love, and encouragement in times of difficulty. The way you treat others daily reveals your character and influences the quality of your life far beyond what you can measure. Financially, small daily habits can change your entire outlook on money. Consistently tracking your expenses, avoiding unnecessary purchases, or setting aside even a modest amount for savings can build financial security over time. When practiced faithfully, these habits create a sense of control and peace that liberates you from the anxiety of financial uncertainty. Money, once a source of stress, becomes a tool you manage confidently and wisely. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of small daily habits is their ability to build faith and hope. When you show up each day and commit to your growth, you demonstrate belief in yourself and your future. This faith fuels your motivation and strengthens your spirit, even when progress feels slow or unseen. It teaches you patience and trust in the process, that every small step forward, no matter how humble, is moving you toward the life you were meant to live. Your identity and your destiny are not separate, they are deeply intertwined. Connected by one profound truth: the degree to which you master yourself determines the greatness you will achieve and the life you will live. Many people wander through life searching for their purpose, looking for external validation, or hoping that circumstances will define who they are and what they can become. But the secret lies within you, in the control you exercise over your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, and your choices. When you master yourself, you step into the fullness of your identity, and as a result, you unlock the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. Mastery of self begins with understanding who you truly are. Your identity is more than your job, your status, or your past mistakes. It is the essence of your being, created with intention and purpose. It is rooted in your values, your passions, and the unique gifts you bring to the world. When you take the time to discover and embrace your true identity, you gain clarity about your potential and a deep sense of worth that is not shaken by external challenges. This sense of identity becomes a foundation of strength. giving you the courage to pursue your dreams even when the road is difficult. The connection between identity and destiny is a powerful one because what you believe about yourself shapes the path you walk. If you believe you are weak, unworthy, or incapable, your actions will reflect those beliefs and your destiny will be limited. But when you embrace a vision of yourself as strong, capable, and worthy of success, you begin to act in ways that align with that truth. You make choices that move you closer to your goals, you persevere through setbacks, and you attract opportunities that match your sense of who you are. Mastery of self is the bridge between where you are now and where you are meant to be. This mastery is not something you are born with, it is something you develop through discipline, reflection, and intentional growth. It requires daily decisions to take responsibility for your life, to choose your thoughts over automatic reactions, to govern your emotions instead of being ruled by them, to form habits that build strength instead of those that bring weakness. Each moment of self-control is a step toward greater mastery. And as you grow in mastery, your confidence deepens, your purpose becomes clearer, and your impact expands. Understanding that your identity is linked to your mastery of self also means recognizing the importance of boundaries and focus. To master yourself, you must guard your time, your energy, and your heart. You must be willing to say no to distractions, toxic influences, and harmful patterns that pull you away from your true self. Mastery involves protecting your inner world and nurturing what aligns with your vision and values. It means prioritizing what matters most and letting go of what holds you back. This level of intentionality is the soil in which your destiny grows. Emotional mastery is a critical component of this journey. Your feelings are powerful, but they do not define you unless you allow them to. When you learn to manage your emotions, to respond rather than react, you create a stable foundation from which you can pursue your goals with clarity and persistence. Emotional mastery frees you from the chaos of impulsive decisions and creates space for wise, thoughtful action. It is a sign of maturity and strength that empowers you to face life's challenges without losing your sense of self. Your thoughts, too, must be mastered because they are the architects of your reality. The stories you tell yourself about who you are can either imprison you or set you free. When you challenge limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths, you break free from the chains of doubt and fear. This mental freedom is essential for stepping into your destiny with confidence and faith. Mastery of your mind equips you to navigate uncertainty with hope and resilience. Physical mastery is often overlooked, but is just as important. Caring for your body through healthy habits, rest, and discipline supports the energy and stamina needed to pursue your purpose. Your body is the vessel through which your identity is expressed and your destiny fulfilled. When you respect and nurture it, you strengthen your ability to persevere and succeed. As you develop mastery over yourself in these areas, mind, emotions, habits, and body, you begin to live authentically. You no longer conform to others' expectations or settle for less than what you were created for. Instead, you move boldly toward the life you are meant to live, fueled by a deep sense of identity and purpose. This alignment between who you are and what you do unleashes a power within you that cannot be stopped. It propels you forward, overcoming obstacles and creating opportunities where none seem possible. Your destiny is not a distant dream reserved for the chosen few. It is a present reality waiting for you to claim by mastering the most important thing in your life, yourself. When you take this journey seriously, you step into a life of significance, influence, and fulfillment. Mastery of self is the greatest gift you can give yourself, and through it you unlock the incredible potential that lies within you.